And welcome to Paul's Spare Time. Take two. Paul has started the this week's nickel box hunt, and I had a little technical difficulty. It is time for where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's all about the Jeffersons, our weekly nickel box hunt. Hudson and I started out hunting pennies, moved on to nickels, and I gotta say, nickels are probably the most fun thing for us to hunt. There are tons of finds, we really enjoy it. We've had some tremendous finds. So we want to share nickels with you. And let me show you. I'm going to be keeping track on this score sheet for what we find, and I've made a couple of changes to it since our first hunt. Key dates are worth 20 points. Key dates are very low mintage nickels. As a matter of fact, the 1939D and the 50D that are key date nickels are the two that Hudson and I still haven't found out of over 100 boxes trying to fill our first book. Liberty nickels, V nickels are worth 20 points. Buffalo nickels are worth 10. War nickels are worth 7. Semi-key dates worth 5. Those are lower mintage nickels as well. Proof nickels worth 4. Man, I rarely find a proof nickel. Here's where I made a change. The 38s and 39s are going to be worth 3 points. The 40s worth 2 points. The 1950s worth a point and a half. I've also taken the 2009 nickels off of the score sheet. We used to keep the 2009s because they have a lower mintage. Now I only keep the 2009s if they're in really good shape. So we're not going to count those for the sake of this series. And then any 4 nickel is worth 2 points. Here is the official score sheet that we use. Ding! Someone trying to get a hold of me. So I have gone ahead and put on here a couple of finds because when I started, I did have a couple of early finds. So let's go back to the scope and I'll show you what I did find. In roll 1, I found a 1948 P. Had that been a 1948S, that would have been a semi-key date, but unfortunately not a semi-key date. In roll 2, I'm halfway through, I have found a 1953 P. That one will be worth 1.5 points. So that's where I am in the hunt. I guess we'll keep going. I'll be back in with the next find, and we'll see you then. This is roll 3, and move a few things out of the way. I originally showed the first roll live opening, and then I messed up the recording and had to start over. So let's show one roll live. I do use a knife to open the edge of my rolls. You can use a screwdriver just as easy, probably a little safer. One of the things I like about nickels is there's 50 rolls of nickels in a box, $2 rolls, which means the investment to search these is $100. Not insignificant, but manageable for a lot of people. And if you find a bank that'll get you a box of rolls, you can see the box over here. The box is $100. You get the 50 rolls, you search them. On average, we have 20 finds. So if you want to keep your 20 finds, try to fill a book. Like I have got some simple books for this series, Jefferson Nickels 38 to 61. If you want to keep the coins and try to fill the book, the partial series in this case, if you keep 20 nickels, it costs you $1. You take $1, put it in with your box, take it back to the bank, get another box. So it's an inexpensive hobby, and it's one you can do together, and you can, like I said, you can get 20 or more finds in a box. Whereas half dollars, unless you hit a great $half box, if you have 1 to 5 finds in a $half box, is a good $half box. So, and in a penny box, depending on where you're at, 5 or 6 wheat cents is a good box. So a lot more action in a nickel box. Like when you take kids fishing, they don't like the aspect so much of fishing usually. They like the aspect of catching. And with nickels, you can do some catching. So let's open up this roll and see what we can see. There are the edges. Unlike silver that stands out like a sore thumb, even the 35% war nickel silver does not usually stand out like a sore thumb from an edge. Sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't. Since I'm not looking really for a lot of varieties, and you can search for varieties and errors in nickels, we'll go over those another time. You can pretty quickly search a roll of nickels because all of the new ones, the newer faces, you know, aren't what you're looking for. I'm looking for 1961 and older to fill this book. And usually those older coins you can tell by their patina. Not always. Not always. There could be one in here that's brand new that someone kicked out of a collection that you can find. But you can usually tell by the patina that you're looking at an older coin. And a lot of times those would be 1964s, which isn't what you're looking for. But I did not find anything in that roll. So I'm going to move on to the next roll and I'll bring you back in with my next find. Boy, it has been slow. I am in the 10th roll. Have not found a find since the first 2 rolls. But, I don't know how to do this. Look what just showed up. Look what just showed up. That's a buffalo nickel. We've got a buffalo nickel. I haven't even flipped it over. Oh, I don't know if we're going to have a date on that. Might have to do a little nickel-dating. Maybe. We have a buffalo nickel, roll 10, 8 rolls with nothing, and then we pop a buffalo. Let's put it under the scope. That's a 10-pointer if I remember correctly. It's a 1920. We do have a date. It is a 1920 buffalo nickel. We will take that. Oh, I love it when I find a buffalo nickel. Buffalo nickel and a Morgan dollar are my 2 favorite coins. That one has seen some tough love. I do not see a mint mark. It would be between the E and the C beneath it. $19.20 buffalo nickel. Gotta love it. That's a find. That's a great find. Hey, I'll be back if I find something else. Alright, we're in roll 15. So no finds for 5 more rolls, and we have a 1949. And a 1949S is a semi-key date. I haven't looked at this one. Could it be a semi-key date? No. But it's a 49P. That is another. I guess I'm still searching live. Bonus footage, there's nothing there. Now I'm going to pause. Very next roll, this is roll 16. This is roll 16, the roll after that 1949 find. This is a 1939. And you got to be real careful when you look at these because the 3s and the 5s look similar. This is a 1939. Could this be a key date? The 39D, the 39S are both key dates. Only the 39P is not. Hudson and I need the 39D to fill a spot in our book. Could this be it? Oh boy. No. Still a 39P. That is a 3-pointer for a coin in the 30s. We will take it back with the next find. By the way, 39P is had a mintage of 120,600,000. That's a lot. Same roll. Same roll. Roll 16. Do you see it hiding out? Do you see it hiding out down there? I see it hiding out. Right there. That is another buffalo nickel. Are you kidding me? There she blows. Our second buffalo nickel of the box. Will she focus? Ooh, this one has been nickedated, it looks like. Well, it might be a hard one to get a date off of. She's well loved. The Native American looking good. Our second buffalo nickel of the box. Holy smokes, let's go to the scope. You know what? I think I see a 1913. That would be a first year. Maybe that's a 2. I think I see a 2. Now that I turned it. I see gunk. I don't see a mint mark. I don't know. Let me play with this and see if I can find a date on it. Okay, I could guess at a date. I'd probably guess 22, but I don't know what it is. After a massive search, I have found my nicodate. Nicodate is a chemical that restores the dates on nickels. It also damages them. It does reduce the value. But an undated buffalo nickel doesn't have a tremendous amount of value to start with. So you would put you shake this and put a very little drop in the date area, and when it works, it's amazing. You can watch the date come to life. Now, I don't know if this is going to work or not, because this dirty area here on the bottom of the nickel looks to me like this may have been nicodated before. But we'll give it a try. We will give it a try and see if I can get this in the right spot. I got close. I got close to the right spot. I used way more than I needed. And I didn't quite get as far right as I wanted. Trying to do it under the scope. I can use my screwdriver if I can find it. Will corrode a screwdriver. Alright, let's see if a date is going to come out. It may, and it may not. And you may see it before I do. If it's been nickedated before to where they have eaten away the material, this is not going to help because it's not going to be there to pop out. So we will see. I'm seeing a 2, maybe. There's not a 32. Could be wishful thinking. Usually by now we would have a date, but I'm going to leave it on longer. And we'll see if anything pops up. Sometimes less light. Not seeing the magic happen. Take it out of here. I will put it in some water to clean it up. Not the best thing you want on your hands. Get it dried up, and we'll take another look at it. I do not see anything now. Look at it through my magnifying glass. Sometimes if you hold it at an angle, you can see something. Now if you drop it. Alright, I do not see a date. This is going to be a dateless enough buffalo nickel, but hey, 2 buffalo nickels already after 16 rolls. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Roll 22. Not a lot of finds, but buffalo nickel number 3. Are you kidding me? Buffalo nickel number 3. That one's got a date. That one's got a date. $1934. Another 10-pointer. This is unusual. Finding 3 buffalo nickels in a box is unusual. And we're not even halfway done with the box. Holy smokes. Let's put it under the scope. $1934. Nice date. Did not see a mint mark. I still don't see a mint mark. Well, there could be something down there. Can't tell. Third buffalo nickel. Holy smokes. Well, I'll be back if we find anything else. Alright. We've got another Jefferson find. A 1957 D. A 57D. And a quick glance tells me a 57D has a mintage of 136 million. Another 1.5-er, we'll take it. That's roll 23 still. Alright, it's been a while, but in roll 31, we have another find. It's a 1956. A 56D. And a 1956D has a mintage of 67.2 million. So we will take it. That is our 9th find. We have a score of 41.5 right now with 19 rolls to go. Alright, in roll 35 we have our 10th find. We've got a 1946 Jefferson. It is a 46. Looks like a 46S. A 46S has a mintage of 11 million. And it, why would 46, oh, 48S, I'm sorry. Wrong, I was going to say that would be a semi-key. 46S has a mintage of 13 million. Maybe I need to look a closer look at that mint mark and see if it's really there. Maybe it's just a, you know what, it's just a 46P. I think I'll look at that closer, but for now it's a 46P. We'll be back with our next find. Hello, roll 37. Where have you been all our lives? We got a 1943. You know what that means. 43, 44, and 45. And the end of 42 are war nickels. There's that big mint mark. The P at the top of Monticello. That is a 43P, a war nickel. War nickel. 35% silver. And in our scoring system, a 7-pointer. You gotta love finding silver in a nickel box. Do you know why we love hunting nickels now? This box has not had a ton of finds. That's only our 11th find. We got 12.5 rolls to go. And put 3 buffaloes and a war nickel? Hello! Roll 32. Roll 32. I don't know if we can show this or not. What I see, think this is 1945. If that says 1945, like I think it does, that means it's another war nickel. Wants to focus. It is 1945p. Well loved. That's our second war nickel. Another 7-pointer. What a box. Back if we find something else. Alright. Unfortunately, that was our last find. We ended up with 12 finds, a score of 57.5. So what the box lacked on quality, it made up for in quantity. Let me show you our official score sheet. We had 3 Buffalo nickels. We had 2 war nickels. 1 in the 30s, 1 Jefferson in the 30s, 3 in the 40s, and 3 in the 50s. So any box with a Buffalo or a war nickel is a good box. But a little light on the finds, but still a ton of fun. I've gone ahead and put our finds into our book. If I can just down here a little bit. Excuse me, we did find a 1939p, mintage of 120 million. We did find a 43p silver nickel, mintage of 271 million. We did find a 1945p silver, mintage of 119 million. A 46p nickel, 161 million. A 48p, 89 million. A 49p, 60 million. We found a 53D, 59 million. A 56D, 67 million. A 57D, 136 million. I did off camera find a 1960p and a 61D. And actually that's supposed to be a 60D that I found. Let's move that over. I found a 60D and a 61D. So we've got those slots filled. So we got to start on our book. I need to put the ones in here from when Hudson did our first box. But we've got to start. This is a neat little book, just from 38 to 61. The Jefferson nickels. So that was fun. This is our third installment of It's All About the Jeffersons. Did someone say it's all about the Jeffersons? I think they did. That is, except when it's all about the Buffaloes. 3 Buffaloes today. Holy smokes. How awesome was that? We had the 1934 Buffalo nickel. We had a dateless Buffalo nickel. We tried to liquidate it unsuccessfully. And we had a 1920 Buffalo nickel. So 3 buff nickels in our All About the Jefferson series, 2 war nickels, and some Jefferson nickels. That was a lot of fun. We'll be back with another video next week on It's All About the Jeffersons when Pa has more spare time.